Hello everyone, this is Dan Gramza and welcome to Gramza Market Studies for Monday, September 5th. Well, let's take a look at these stock indices. We can see that they did back off a bit. We didn't have a lot of bullish news this past week. We had U.S. consumer confidence down to 44.5 for August, and it was 59.5 in July. August non-farm payrolls had zero growth. Private payrolls increased by 17,000, not a great number. And U.S. to August ISM manufacturing report was around 50. The European manufacturing report was below 50, which is a sign of weakness and slower growth. So we're seeing some market news, and as I mentioned to you yesterday, that it was 50-50. Depending how the numbers rolled out, that we could expect this market to rally or break. The action that we saw here is bearish. As I mentioned in the advanced video also, it's an equal and opposite, which is a bearish setup. We happen to get some follow through to the downside. But again, even though structurally it was bearish, it was truly 50-50 in terms of how the market would react. Now, the differences between this red line and the green line in the S&P is 20 full points. In the NASDAQ market, the difference between the green line and red line there is 60 full points. And the Dow, it is 310 ticks. And in the mid caps, that's 74 points. And again, I'm not suggesting that anyone would get those returns or that they should get those returns. I'm just trying to show you an opinion about how a market could be approached and what these results are. Now let's move on though, and let's take a look at what do we expect for Monday. We're looking for an unchanged type day. We're not looking for this. The market's going to absorb this kind of information. We're not looking for another dramatic move down. In the currencies, we see the euro continues weaker, which means the dollar is going to continue getting stronger against the euro. Right now, though, we are coming near levels that are going to be very important for that market, and it'll be interesting to see how we behave. Not so much Monday, because Monday is going to be a holiday, and we are having shortened sessions for these markets. But it's going to be that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. In the meantime, the market's had a lot of time to absorb a lot of information. Also remember that even though the U.S. market may be closed for a few hours on Monday for our Labor Day holiday, it doesn't mean the rest of the world stops spinning. And we're going to see some further action, but we're not looking for dramatic moves there. Interest rate markets, well, we had some strength coming back into these notes and bonds, and that's reasonable when you think about what happened in the stock market. If we look at the metals markets, obviously with that uncertainty, and that's really what we're seeing that lack of confidence and uncertainty in the marketplace, and this benchmark candle did remain dominant in gold, and in this case it had an excuse to push its way back up. Same thing for silver, and with that kind of outlook, it's kind of bearish for copper because the expectation is lower demand. The difference here between that sell level or the red line and the green line there in copper is 8 full cents. Again, I've had some questions about that market. Each full penny is $250. Again, just to give you a reference for how that's moved. Not suggesting anyone should get that. If we look at energy, well, we've seen crude oil back off. If things are going to slow down, then we would expect demand for crude oil to back off. We also found sellers where we found them before. That's interesting. And the difference between the red line and the green line in our friend crude oil is $2.85. Natural gas did fall out of bed if there's going to be a decrease in demand. We're not looking for another big move down, and we're seeing buyers coming back in these grains, and we're looking for more of that action this coming week. And that concludes today's market studies. Thank you for joining me. For those of you celebrating Labor Day, I hope you've had a wonderful weekend, and I'm looking forward to our paths crossing again. In the meantime, take care.